We've been doing Heritage Project. We've been creating new ideas and new skills.
I think the key thing that we've been doing is actually showing young people that you can engage in history away from a classroom or a textbook.
So I think it's been really interesting the way you've been bringing out all the creativity in the young people that you've been working with and getting them to really think outside of the box.
The real standout piece for me is the video that the young people worked on. I think obviously that kind of shows as well that you can take an initial idea and that's evolved into something quite different. But again, it's like them developing a lot of skills as well.
I really enjoyed the day down at Buckland when we were making the big map on the ground. Yeah, and we were thinking about all the different elements of the past and using real objects, because that's my thing, using real objects and actually ending up with a map, but not as you'd normally know it.
I think the installations in the tanks, I think that was a great way. I think that was one of the first things we did. And the creativity and imagination that they shown in that project was great. And they all got really stuck into that. And quite a few of them we've spoken to, and they said that was their favourite thing that they did actually.
I still think the box at Cotehele, because that was really, really fun to get messy and get our hands dirty, even though I didn't that much. Oliver had paint all over his arms.
We got to go travel on a train and do different activities on there, new stuff. We got to take pictures and all of the landscape that was around us, and it was really good.
I love the photos and I love the drones and all that kind of stuff. I can't say it's something that I've learned to do myself, but I absolutely love using that stuff.
I feel I'm better at communicating to new people and getting to know them as well, and learning new skills, doing new stuff that I've never done before, and getting along with new people as well and helping them out and just enjoying myself.
I think there's loads we can take from this in terms of, when we're out with groups and we're kind of planning activities. I think you've given us loads of ideas of ways we can try and engage with history, or, creative exercises that we definitely wouldn't have thought of before. I think sometimes some of the ideas the guys have had at the start, we kind of look at it and go, how's that going to work? And, it seems quite abstract, but actually it all comes together quite well. And I think as long as you're kind of keeping a theme throughout it, it kind of runs its own course a bit, doesn't it? A bit like the waterways, it's kind of just evolved and flowed and gone with the young people's views and approach and creativity and their ideas.
It was quite good because some that were there at the beginning might not have been able to do certain bits in the middle, but came back at the end, and they were still just as involved at the end as they were at the beginning, because although there is a story, because there's so many different aspects of the way you were doing it, it didn't really matter. And it also gave other young people opportunity to get involved in the middle and at the end, and I thought it was great.
I think it would have been better to work more in the wetlands, because there's so many different types of animals there, and it's really biodiverse and it's quite close.
We didn't go to the Hoe. I think I probably would have liked to have maybe gone down to Plymouth.
Okay, there's Plymouth, yeah. Oh, there's already some there, isn't there? So, yeah, I'd say back there.
Oh, I think Tavistock might have been good, because, there's a lot of history back there.
See, everything we do, we like to be, young person-led. So I think you've been, really good at kind of being okay, right, there's an idea here, where, normally perhaps you'd be I'm not too sure about that. Or if it was in a classroom, a teacher would be well, the textbook doesn't say that, so we're not going down that direction. And actually, that's been definitely something we can learn from this, actually trying to, those very small ideas, trying to run with it and open it up. And actually there's been so much learning that's come from that. So sometimes not always being so blinkered in, our idea of history and what's gone on, and, exploring things. And there's so much that's come out a bit like that.
we've been really thrilled to have the film that really has enhanced our project in terms of bringing rivers to life. So obviously giving a very artistic view, which is really interesting and good for us to have a completely different perspective.
I think the film was actually awesome. It linked loads of things together, different brains thinking together about the same subject, and it worked really well together.
So quite often people won't necessarily comment to us, but you'll see them looking, they talk to each other, particularly families. We had, just this afternoon, we had a young lad who we happen to know is autistic, who was sort of drawn to the imagery.
With the National Trust, you're going to have a certain audience that will be going to those places, and they'll be enjoying that. But if you've got it in a place like a library, then anybody can come and see it. It doesn't matter what age they are or whether they were, they probably don't even expect to come and see it, and they will stumble across it and hopefully enjoy something that they might not have had the opportunity to see otherwise. So it's really good to have it in the library.
If you've got an exhibition where people are sort of almost self-selecting to actually come into a space, then that obviously sort of influences who's seeing it. I mean, we see such a wide variety of people of all different backgrounds and experience, and we find that being able to offer them something whereby it's often a surprise. So they're coming into the library, they may just be coming in to read the newspaper, but it's that exposure within a community building that enables them just to experience something.
It's really important to a charity like us for other people to understand what we do with these young people, and how they put all this stuff on their CVs, and it really helps them in the future. It helps build their confidence. So it's very important to the Youth Cafe to get it out there, and I know they feel very proud of the work that they do, and it's really good for their confidence. So I think it's really good.